See.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the show. Now, I know all you college kids out there, it's getting close to finals week, and you've got a lot to worry about, and you don't necessarily have time for food. Obviously, one of the solutions is instant noodles. The thing about instant noodles is they're really cheap and they're delicious, but as with many really cheap, delicious foods, they're bad for you. If you've ever really looked at the ingredients on the back of instant noodles, you find a lot of stuff like salt, preservatives, stuff like MSG, and you really don't want to be eating that all the time. So I'm going to show you today how to make a really, really tasty, really, really low sodium, really, really good way to eat instant noodles. That doesn't cost a lot. It's a little more expensive than 23 cents, but then most things in the world are. So, just a little brief history about instant noodles. In Japan, that's where they came from. They used ramen as just a way to eat lunch and refuel during the day after they would work in the rice fields. And it became really popular over time, and they found a way to just kind of uh, freeze dry the noodles so that everybody can get it. Actually, really, they even considered it as astronaut food. And when it came in the cup noodle form like this, and that's where people are really most familiar with it, especially in the college dorms. Uh, they can buy them by the case or by the pack, and they're really good. But again, it's really salty. So what we're going to do today is we're going to take all of the ingredients that you would normally use and just substitute them with stuff that's so much better for you. Over here, I've got just bottled water, regular bottled water. You can use tap water if you like. Uh, any brand will do because it's water. It doesn't matter. I've got uh, chicken broth. You can use beef broth. You can use vegetable broth if you don't particularly want to use any of the other two, or you're a vegetarian or a vegan or what have you. If you do have issues with gluten, you best check the label, because a lot of chicken broths and beef broths do have gluten in them, and some vegetable broths as well. And then, sorry. And then we've got seasoning. I like to add a lot of seasoning to my stuff. I mean, these are really just herbs more than seasoning. And really, when you want to talk about flavor, you would go for more herbs than seasoning, because it enhances the flavors that are already there in the food. Like, I like to use oregano in a lot of soups, garlic salt, because I love garlic, and garlic is really good for you. It helps with blood pressure, cholesterol, what have you. Then onion powder. I don't care for onion powder as much, but it is a good flavor enhancer. And then pepper. Pepper comes in a lot of varieties. You have cayenne pepper, you have peppercorns, you have red pepper, you have black pepper. This particular pepper is seasoned, but it's got more pepper in it than actual like salt, and it's got more herbs in it than salt also. So that makes it a good alternative. Now, when you're in your dorm room, I can understand that you may not necessarily have a lot of time or a lot of energy to waste on cooking a big meal. So that's where this comes in handy. You can have all the ingredients in your mini fridge. You can have, the easy to store seasoning containers, and you can just throw it together anytime you want a good filling meal that's not cafeteria food, because we all know how we feel about cafeteria food. And you can always have it in your room on hand for whatever you need, whenever you need it. Okay, well, after we get back from our break, we're gonna throw all of these ingredients together, put it in our trusty microwave, and I'll just go over what you need, like your fork and your spoon and your Tupperware, what have you, all of which can be found in your pantry. So, when we come back, we'll just go through all of this.
Look, Marge. Armory Flea Market, Tyler Fairgrounds, and it looks like the humans are going. Yippee! Let's go too! Are we there yet? Calm down, Marge. Aw, darn.
The Armory Flea Market has something for everyone. Well, almost everyone.
Hi guys, welcome back. So now it's time for us to put everything that we have here together. I've got my can of low sodium chicken broth. It's usually just a couple cents more expensive, or really the same price as regular sodium chicken broth, and it's better for you. And it's just a good alternative to the actual packet that you use in the ramen. So we're just gonna open this up, pour it in there. Now, some people don't like to use the whole can, but I do because I like my noodles a little softer. If you don't like your noodles softer, you can always use less chicken broth or less water or what have you. Next, we're gonna add just a little water to dilute it, just in case, and it also gives more room for your seasonings to breathe. So we'll just add a little water like that. Now comes the time where you can just kind of season everything to taste. Like I said before, I like to use oregano. It's really kind of smoky. It just adds a whole new element of flavor to your to whatever you're cooking. You could put it in a lot of stuff. You can put it in eggs. You can put it in steak, pork, soups like we're about to make, and it just makes things a lot better. You can also use, in place of oregano, you can use parsley, you could use sage, just really whatever you like that that you would think would make your soup taste better. Or if not, you could just go with the regular old standard black pepper and salt, but that's boring and I'm not boring, so we'll just throw a little bit of that in there. What you kind of want to do is, like, when you're pinching everything in there, just kind of crush it together. Then you take your spoon, you'll probably have some in there, and just kind of stir it. Once you're done with that, you can just set it to the side. Onion powder, you can use for a lot of stuff also. Like I said before, I prefer garlic, but it's a little onion powder. Give it a quick stir. You kind of want to stir as you go along, just to make sure everything isn't just on top of each other, because it's really weird to be eating soup and have everything just kind of staring you in the face, and it's awkward and you don't want to do that. Okay. Pepper, be careful with pepper, because it's horrible when you have too much and it's horrible when you have too little. If you don't like pepper, don't use it. If you like pepper, don't use too much, especially if it's seasoned, because then again you get into the salt thing and you don't want to do that. So just a little bit of pepper. I like spicy things, but I'd rather not have a really, really spicy soup. So you just kind of mix it together. And by now it looks kind of cloudy. I don't know if you can see it. I don't want to spill it all over the table, but by now it looks kind of cloudy and it's got all your good stuff floating in it, and you want that. So now it's time for the salt. And I added the garlic salt last because it's the salt, and I didn't want to overpower the seasoning and the seasoned pepper or anything like that. You can add your ingredients however you like, but this is just how I do it, just so I can get the best out of everything. So just maybe a little more salt than you think, because we did cut our chicken broth with water. So okay. Now we're gonna put our ramen in here. You can break it up if you want, which is usually good because you don't want, super long noodles or anything like that. And we might run out of time before it's finished, but it's okay. We've all seen ramen. And then put the little excess in there. Again, you might want to push it down in the bottom of the bowl. Okay, throw away this packet. It's evil. And then you just put it in the microwave for 3 minutes. And there you have it. After 3 minutes, you'll have a nice hot bowl of ramen that'll fill you up and do you just fine without the salt. So I hope you learned a lot, and we'll see you tomorrow for more stuff.